Greetings, Alvis Tennant. 50 years of martial and healing arts stories. We're dealing with martial arts stories now. So 50 years of martial arts, 50 plus years of martial arts training. Good to see you. My channel is The Way of Victory on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and share. I want to shout out my son, $1 Billion Vision. He's my tech man, he's my videographer, he's my son. I want to shout out my man Banky Pound, 33 years of prison stories. Banky Pound was inspirational in having me start my own channel, because thank God I don't have 33 years of prisons, but I got 50 years of martial arts. Banky Pound's channel talks about the horrors of prison in the hopes of deterring youth from making decisions that put them in prison. Very powerful brother, and I want you to go check him out and like and subscribe to his page as well. Now, today's story, I'm going to talk about when I graduated college. You've already seen that. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. I had my experiences while I was in college from 78 to 83. In 1983, 84 rather, I moved to Newark, New Jersey. And there I continued my martial arts training, kind of free form, continued to practice my Kung Fu. Got with some good brothers, and we had some good sparring and road work, and we stayed in shape, and young, 27, 28, which is very young to me now. Might be old to some of you watching, but we had some good work. And there I heard about a system from one of the brothers called Bando, B-A-N-D-O. That's a Burmese system that basically has everything I'd ever been looking for. You've got the kickboxing, you've got hand-to-hand combat, you've got stick, fist, knife, gun, you've got animal systems, and it was just such a comprehensive system. I fell in love with it. So the brother that told me about it became a very close friend of mine, and he was a famous Bando man back in the 70s, Tahir Khalid. He was called Tawheed Khalid. Tawheed Khalid back in his kickboxing days. Tawheed Khalid, but we called him Tahir Khalid. And he had a relationship with the Grand Master of the Bando system, Dr. Mung Ji, G-Y-I. And he arranged for Dr. G to come visit and train us for a 3-day period, during which Dr. G kept us occupied for about 16 to 17, 18 hours a day with various aspects of the Bando system, his personal history, very compelling storytelling, a very charismatic person. I was in all the way when I met him. I knew I'd met the teacher that I'd been looking for all the days of my life. When I met Dr. G, his spirit touched my spirit. And it was an amazing thing. So fast forward from training, Dr. G had seen me do some work when he was there, and invited me to come to the Bando Nationals in 1986. So I had a good corner man, Tahir Khalid, who was being an ex-kickboxer. He said, "This is different from how you've been fighting your whole life. I know you can fight, but this is a little different. You got to really be ready." So he trained me in the road work. He trained me in the getting me some very hard sparring, and then the most humbling part of the training was in the boxing. I thought I could box, so we would go to boxing gyms, and I'd try my usual thing I did in the rings. What I would do is I'd hold my head back and flurry. But these seasoned boxers, I was susceptible to the right hand and the left hook, so I had to change my style to be more like a real boxer, and I learned actually how to throw a serious boxing jab and a serious right hand hook, uppercut. Kind of had to relearn and refine the actual boxing to go with my kicking. My kicks were good. was very helpful and very humbling. Took a few right hands, took a few hooks to get to that. In preparation for the 1986 Bondo Nationals, I sparred a couple of KA, Kareem Allah. The KA system in Newark is a very famous system, and there's the master of the system was KA, and then his protege was Little KA. But at that time, Little KA was about 30 years old. He had a couple schools, and he was holding the KK system down. So he and I became friends, and I told him what I was going to do. He'd had some full contact experience, and we were able to spar a little bit. I went to his school, actually. It wasn't full contact, but we were able to move around a little bit, and I noticed he was good, and I thought I might be a little better. So, like in college, I said let's get together in the school, just me and you. And so he said sure. So we were doing some friendly sparring at first. Like it's like this, just nice and slow. But then the speed went up, and then I catch him with a side kick, he catch me with a side kick. I catch him with a roundhouse kick to the face, he catch me with a roundhouse kick to the face. So we're like even. Everything I could ever catch him with, he would catch me with. But then he started catching me. I catch him with a side kick, he catch me with a side kick, a roundhouse kick, and a back fist in answer to my side kick. He catch me with, then I throw a roundhouse kick, he blocks it, catches me with another side kick, a back kick, a spinning back fist. So he just, the way I describe it is, we started off at level 1, I went up to 3, he went up to 5, I went up to 7, he went up to 9, I went up to 9, but then he went up to 14, 15, 16, but then he realized that he had me beat, and he came back down, and we worked it back down. We never talked about it. It was a very harmonious and humbling experience with Little K.A. Kevin Thompson is his name. May he rest in peace. I love the brother, and may he rest in peace. He was a great karate man that I don't think ever really got the national recognition he should have gotten. But his character and time with me, I really appreciated, and it was a flawless thing. One of the most smooth defeats I ever experienced. It was a defeat. It was humbling, but hey, it is what it is. The man was, he was. There's always a better man. Sometimes it's not you. So that's no reason. That's part of the martial arts. Part of life is we learn more sometimes from our defeats than we do our victories. Speaking of defeats, my next defeat in preparation for the Bondo Nationals in 1986 was with another KA guy named Nasheed Latif. He just got out of prison, and he was an old school KA guy. He was a little older than Little KA. He had come up with Little KA, but he was older. But he was still good. I mean, older being maybe 35, 30, 36. At that time, I was probably 30. So we get together. I tell him I'm going to a full contact match, and would he be willing to do some full contact sparring with me? He says sure. And we spar. So we're sparring one round. I'm jabbing him, getting away from him. I'm kicking him. Got him with a couple side kicks, a couple jabs, and then he does like a karate and catches me with the hardest right hand. He made the guy that hit me in the Marines. It was even harder than that. This is the actual hardest I've been hit in my entire life. He hit me with one right hand, and I was out on my feet, and I was trying to keep going, but my coach said, no, stop. He's done. And they got me out of there, and he's like, man, you gotta be careful out there. I told you to be careful with this guy. He's got a powerful punch. So we we talk about that. We go through some training. I learned how to practice slipping the right hand more and more. And I also get like a headgear from Chinatown that's like completely covers my head. I got eyes, but it's all rubber around here because I'm not gonna get hit like that again. So we go back, about 2 weeks later. I'm still trying to get ready for this fight. So we go back about 2 weeks later. Now this time, I'm actually winning in terms of punching and kicking him more times than he's kicking me. He can't really get that right hand loaded up. But then he hits me with one. Yeah. Now it didn't hurt as much, but I could still feel it through the headgear. Then he gets me with another one. Now it hurt a little bit more. He hit me with about 6 of them, and that was after about 4 rounds. So that was it. Those were my defeats in training for the Nationals. So I'm humbled completely. But at the same time, I'm continuing to spar other people. I'm doing, okay in sparring. Those were like the vicious sparrings in preparation for a fight. You want to go through the fight before the fight.